Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Pauly versus Lawyer Killer. I'm Primetime, and with me today is my co-host, my partner in crime, QB Stud. We kick this game off. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. What's going to happen, man?
I think we'll have a good matchup here. This will be interesting because both of these dudes love to pound the rock, and they also love taking it away too. So it's definitely a good matchup. It's a division rivalry for first place, and it looks like we've got hiccups to start the game. Will be interesting. Yeah. It's good to have them here on Game of the Week.
Yes, absolutely. Here as we have Coach Pauly coming out of the shotgun here, 2nd and 11, early on for the Minnesota Vikings. And she's going to go ahead and hand it off to Naheem the Dream Hines, and he got stuffed there. Pauly loves running that ball.
That's right, but he got stuffed twice in a row there to start off the game. Never what you want to do. You always want to try to establish that ground game to do what you want to do later on in the game. 3rd and 12 now. He's going to be out of his element, and that Green Bay back 7 is real dangerous. So we'll be curious to see if he wants to play conservatively or try to get hot early on.
So here we go. Arrieta out of the shotgun. Naheem Hines looks like is that Hines? Yep, next to him in the backfield. 3rd and 12. Pauly, not a great passer. Let's see if he's got something up his sleeve for an early test for this offense in Minnesota. Vikings a home team. Play clock ticking down to 6 seconds. Still calling hot reads, and he had to take a timeout. Do you a timeout that early? Kind of surprising.
Yeah, also when it's 3rd and 12, I mean, at that point, you kind of just take what you have there. You're already not in a great situation. Going from a bad situation to a bad situation isn't as big of a deal as potentially having that timeout later on at the end of the half.
Pauly, man, the lights are bright. Old man Pauly going to try getting a 3rd and 12. Let's see if this timeout pays off. He's got Hines out to the left, few receivers. Looks like Lawyer Killer shifting that defense. Arrieta back to throw now. He's looking. He throws. It's caught, but he's going to be short. He makes a catch. He falls down, a conservative catch, and he's short.
Yeah, what's funny is if he would have done a rack catch, he would have been fine, had the first down. A possession catch doesn't matter. If you gain 5 yards when it's 4th and 13, that doesn't matter. So there's really no win in that situation. He was only down a yard, but it doesn't matter if you're short 1 or 5, you're going to have to punt.
Right, exactly. If that was 1st and 10 and you want a possession catch it to ensure the catch, I agree 100% you do it. But on 3rd and 12, you got to be aggressive. You wasted a timeout. Pauly coming out a little wonky here early on.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to analyze how he came out there. He came out with a conservative formation, the first 3rd down, and then went aggressive here but played conservatively, so that's interesting.
Yep, and here's Todd Gurley right out the bat, busting a big run, breaking a tackle, putting a juke move on Todd Gurley down the sideline, and that was an amazing run by Todd Gurley on the first play from scrimmage for the Green Bay Packers, and Lawyer Killer says, oh, touchdown Packers.
Yeah, so that's exactly what both of these guys want to do. They want to use their superstar running back to establish the ground game. Pauly was unable to do so, getting stuffed twice in a row, and then you see Todd Gurley taking it to the house, first play of the game. This could spell bad news, but again, we're not even a minute into the game, so we'll see what keeps up.
Yeah, that was just amazing. First of all, Todd Gurley just being a beast who completely breaks the tackle. Then he hits a user skill, a wiggle stick, and then he had the speed. Todd Gurley with a big contract. He earned it on that run.
Absolutely, and so that's basically him putting the team on his back, and that's what he's getting paid for. That's the definition of a workhorse. And he, makes a difference in this game already.
All right, so I got a question for you. I was thinking about earlier before we got on here. What would you, if you're a player, who would you rather face? Would you rather face somebody who is probably a 4 or a 5 in terms of user ability, but a 10 in preparation? That's Pauly. Or somebody who is about as we get a run play, that's stuffed again, probably a 7 in terms of user ability, and then 2 in terms of preparation. That's Lawyer Killer. Who would you rather face?
Well, me personally, it really depends because I try to play off of what my opponent's doing. And so if they really can get into 3-dimensional chess on trying to play off of me playing off of them, then that's always fun. That being said, it's always a little bit easier when someone comes in not knowing what's going on. So probably the low preparation.
Yeah. Pauly definitely one of the most prepared guys I've ever seen in SML history. Probably the most in terms of watching film. He does it all. He's got an early 3rd down test, so to try to get things going for the Vikings. And Arrieta making some checks now. He's got Hines in the backfield. Watch that corner route. He's looking to throw. It's a little, oh, what a defensive play there. Getting his hand in right as the ball arrived. That was a good defensive play.
Yeah, so that's one where you kind of can't run those curl rounds against superstar corners. That's just how the game works. I like the concept on 3rd and short. You have your little wheel route to hit early if that's open. If not, you assume the curl route will be. But unfortunately, those stud corners will break on it immediately, especially on 3rd down. So it just got taken away. It was a good idea, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and so Coach Polly coming out extremely flat on offense, like a flat tire, if you will. Now, and here's Lawyer Killer. First play was a touchdown. Let's see what he does play the second play. He backs this Daniel Jones dropping back and hitting an out route. Lawyer Killer looking very crisp.
So every single time you saw how he had his entire front 7 in the box there. He didn't have anyone fan out. I would expect Lawyer to hit either an out route or a corner 100% of the time that happens.
That was a good throw. Lawyer Killer just dropped back, clean play there. Looks like he's going to go back. Oh, he's calling an audible now. Let's see. Polly's coming in to stop the run. You know he is. As the Jones goes ahead, he hands it up the middle, and that's Todd Gurley on another big run for a first down. Todd Gurley now 2 rushes, 85 yards, and a touchdown. If you're a fantasy owner, that's 14 fantasy points at least already. Wow, Todd Gurley.
Yep, and so that's another one where usability comes in, right? He went into the wrong hole. He didn't hit that zero gap, and it was able to go for a big play.
So here we go again. Daniel Jones under center. He's got a fullback and Todd Gurley behind him as Jones hands it off now up the middle of Todd Gurley again, who gets a first down in a face mask. Todd Gurley is abusing this Minnesota Vikings defense.
Yeah, that was one where I think he was looking to get the out route because, like I said earlier, that front 7 was all in the box. But then he noticed that the way that the corners were aligned, that it could have been flat coverage there. So that wouldn't have been a good idea. He hit the dive, and he had great success with it.
And it's this is a handoff to Philip Lindsay, a change of pace back, another great superstar running back for the Vikings. He gets the first down, but there's a holding call. This Vikings defense knew it's going to be a running attack, and they have done little to nothing to stop it.
Yeah, the gap control is really poor. There's a gaping hole in the middle and then no linebacker to clean it up. That's what you have to see the adjustments on defense for.
Here we go. Daniel Jones now under center. Jones, a lot of under center work so far for the Packers is Jones is just making some checks now. He sees something in this defense. A little Peyton Manning action out here apparently for Daniel Jones, who's back to throw. He throws, and that ball was a dangerous pass.
So that's a little bit what I said earlier. He saw all those guys in the box, so he wanted to try to hit that corner. I would have liked to see him using an outside receiver to leverage the defense away from it. It could have been open, but because that outside receiver ran the corner into the play, did not work out for him that time.
Yeah. So here we go now. 2nd and 18. Jones out of the gun now for the first time, if I'm not mistaken. He's calling some checks here. He thinks he might be able to get another big run up the middle. Let's see if he does. It's a handoff up the middle, and that's Todd Gurley. He's going to go basically untouched for his 2nd touchdown of the game. There's an injured player, but not more injured than the hearts of Coach Polly, who is crying right now. His preparation has done little to nothing as the Packers are up 14-0 in Minnesota.
Yeah, you'd have to do a little bit more film breakdown to see if it's just his guys getting their rear ends kicked at the line or if he just doesn't have guys in position. But either way, this hole is gaping and there's no one to fill it. And so Todd Gurley's going to capitalize on that 10 times out of 10.
Coach Polly's got to do something now. He's opened up this game flat. He's just not playing. Are the lights too bright for Coach Polly? You know, that's the question that has to be raised.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I haven't really seen much of Coach Polly. Not sure if this is normal for him or whatever it is, but definitely know that the first time you're in those bright lights, it does affect you. So we'll see if he can adjust as the game moves on.
And it's a quick, oh, that was nearly intercepted, man. Coach Polly having some performance anxiety right now. This man, somebody get help this man because he is just having some anxiety issues right now. That ball was a bad read. Polly is struggling, and Lawyer Killer is looking like a killer right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a situation where you've got a very dangerous defense that he's running up against and a very dangerous running game, and that's kind of what Paulie tries to stop. So not being able to neutralize those is definitely going to hurt him.
So here we go now. Arietta back to throw out of the gun. He feels some pressure, rolls out, takes a quick little flat route. I think he had the corner route there, but he got some yards, makes third down a little more manageable.
Yeah, I think that was a footstep situation. If he would have taken just a little bit longer, he would have noticed that corner route, but he saw the out route was open, so he went ahead and took it and moved forward. Now he's got third down, though, so he's going to have to make up for it next.
Here we go now, Arietta out of the gun. He's got two backs next to him in the backfield. First or third down now for Arietta. Is he looking to throw again? He's looking deep. It's going to be caught for the first down, and just like that, Coach Polly's starting to warm up. He's like, hey, us old guys, take a second. We're not young anymore. We're not young and spry. Coach Polly, first down of the game, and that was to James for 25 yards.
And if he's able to start stretching this Green Bay Packers defense down the field, it will definitely open up the underneath passing game and the ground attack. So you want to see him attack, preferably not on third down, so that he has a little bit of breathing room, but that's exactly what he needed right now.
So here we go now. It looks like a little monster formation. I know you love this. We got Hines in the backfield next to Arietta, who's calling some checks. Let's see what Polly's got up his sleeve here. It's going to be a little screen pass outside of the flat, and he doesn't get much there. I got to ask you, what's your thoughts on the monster formation?
So we actually discussed this formation the very first call, if I recall correctly, and I called it the disrespect formation. That is the formation you do when you think that your opponent doesn't know how to adjust to anything, and you think you can capitalize. I wouldn't call it cheese, but it's definitely disrespectful to roll out against your opponent, and I'm surprised he got 3 yards out of it.
So, yeah, Polly's a guy who let's wait for this play, and then I'll kind of give my feelings on Coach Polly here. On 2nd and 7 as the first quarter comes winding down now. It's a handoff up the middle to Hines, who gets stuffed. Lawyer Killer's keying in on time. 4 rushes for negative 10 yards. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, back to what I said about Polly. He's stuck in the past. He's a 90s guy, a 2000s guy. He's old. He's an old fella. And monster formation, thing of the past in Madden, right? That was like Madden 17, Madden 18. Not that effective anymore.
Yeah, and coming from a coach, too, I know for sure he doesn't use that when he's coaching, so I'm curious as to why it's in his playbook.
So here we go now. Another third down for the Vikings. It seems like they just keep running into these things. Here we go. Arietta back to throw. He's looking. He throws, and it's another crosser, a slant, and that's Philip Dorsett, I believe, and that's a first down for the Vikings. They're moving the ball.
Yeah, he's kind of starting to settle in. He's taking a little long because all of these bigger pass plays are coming on third down. You want to see him mix those up, not necessarily always run it on first. If he can get one of those passes on first down and then run it on second down, you're going to usually have a lot more success.
Here we go. Hines now going in motion as Arietta's going to look, and he's going to have to run it or take a sack. And that was ugly.
He did get a yard. So Arietta, the most successful runner of the quarter, or I guess this happened in the second quarter, but of the day thus far, by a long amount. So that hurts definitely to see.
Yeah, man. Polly, his offense is so predicated on the run game, and Naheem Hines. A very subpar passer, I would say, but he's not looking bad in the passing game.
No, he's settling in when he needs it. I didn't do enough research before the game started as we get this stretch play outside. He's finally got some room. Get shut down. I heard the discussion probably a week or two ago that the Packers D-line has like 3 guys with 90 block shed. So this is really a clash of strengths here when you have guys up front that can just eat you up, and then trying to run into that is going to be tough unless you have a monster offensive line.
Another third down in the meanwhile. He's got the dig route. He takes the post route and double coverage, incomplete. Coach Polly, it's like you said, you have good D linemen, and then when you can key up on somebody who's not a great passer, it just makes it all that much easier. As here we go. It's a field goal attempt. It looks like Dustin Hopkins on the field for an attempt from the left hash to put the first points on the board. It's up. It's high. It looks good. And Coach Pauly and the Minnesota Vikings have scored their first points of the game. Now it's time for their defense, who can't stop a nosebleed, to try to make a stop.
Yeah, and it's not going to matter if he keeps it up on offense. He's got a problem to where he does not pass the ball downfield until third down, and that's extremely predictable. A good user like Lawyer is going to key on that very quickly and completely take that away. I'm surprised he got as far as he did with that mindset. You have to come out, attack on first down, second and short, second and medium, then run the ball, establish it that way, use the pass to set up the run. You don't have to use the run to set up the pass when you're failing in that regard.
Yep, I agree 100%. And now we have Todd Gurley with his superpower on. He's got the X factor lit up, and he gets stuffed though. The one play where he's got his power up, he doesn't get much. He doesn't get anything.
And now it's gone.
Yeah, is that what happens if you don't get a yard, then you lose it?
Yeah, it says don't get tackled for a loss, and if it's like just behind the line of scrimmage, then it cancels it out.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, so what it's called is being in the zone, and if you get tackled behind the line of scrimmage, that wasn't exactly being in the zone, so it kind of takes it away at that point.
So there you go. Todd Gurley is no longer in the zone. So here we go. Daniel Jones back to throw. He's looking, and he's going to go, and that's a dot. That is a dot by Daniel Jones, who is now 2 of 3 for 31 yards. Efficient passing so far from Lord Killer. Calculated passing, I should say. Calculated.
Yeah, but I do want to give Paulie some credit there. He did adjust because he noticed that that's exactly the area of the field that Lawyer's going to want to attack, and here he's not adjusting again. So I'm not sure if he's really learned or if he just saw that it was trips formation. But you see he's going to attack that same area of the field with how the Vikings are lining up.
Yep, and here goes Jones back to throw again. He's got the time, throws an out route, quick pass, and Daniel Jones is dialed in, man, because he's hitting that back foot and he's getting that ball out. 3 of 4 now, 48 yards. It doesn't matter if they're running it. It doesn't matter if they're passing it. The Packers aren't hitting a freaking third down, dude. This is incredible.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of it comes down to coaching and preparedness and just understanding what you're looking at, knowing where to hit, knowing what your keys are, and knowing how to take advantage of the front that the defense is in. He has to try to take away Gurley. He has to stack the box, so Jones is going to take advantage of it.
So here we go now. Under center, Todd Gurley in the backfield. Seals Jones going in motion from right to left. It looks like it's going to be a stretch play out left. Jones is going to toss it. It's a toss play. He's got the edge, and he's got no one's going to get him. That's Todd Gurley, TG33 in the end zone. And it's now going to be 21-3, barring a missed extra point.
Yeah, this is very quickly becoming ugly. It could easily be a game on this next drive if Paulie opens up and wakes up a little bit. But he hasn't even slowed down this Green Bay Packers offense.
This is incredible. Hey, don't touch that dial, guys, because stay tuned. Prime and QB Stud are going to talk about all sorts of topics if this game gets ugly. We're just going to start talking about all sorts of things. So even if this game is basically over, it's not over. So here we go now. Big drive for Coach Paulie, who's down 18 points. You get touchdown here, and you're right back in it, right?
Absolutely. That's a 10-point game, and you have the momentum presumably at that point. It doesn't take much to get a stop, turn it around, and then all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. So if I'm Paulie here, I'm composed. I know I'm in this game. You don't panic, but you do need to open it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't want to, but if you get a field goal, it goes down to 2 scores. So here's Arietta. It looks like a quick hold now. Just throw that ball away or something. Take the check down. Just a late pass, a late read by Paulie.
Yeah.
So, go on.
No, I mean, that's just one where sometimes, like I said, his guys are getting beat up front, and that's tough to kind of adjust when you're an old school ground and pound kind of style offense. I do like that he was trying to look downfield, but I think he agreed with you to just get rid of it since that flag was there.
So here go Arietta back to throw on a screen pass, and he's going to get bottled up. Nyheim Hines is literally just getting used and abused out there. He can't run the ball forward. He can't catch the ball forward. Nyheim Hines is struggling right now.
Yeah, basically, you talked about preparedness, and I think you gave Lawyer like a 2, but you have to also remember these are division opponents. They've played each other time and time again. You don't have to do film study at a certain point to understand your opponent, and he knows exactly what he's looking for against this Vikings offense.
Coach Paulie lets everybody know it. His offense goes through Nyheim Hines, and I think the recipe to beating Paulie is out there. Stop Nyheim Hines, and you're going to make Paulie throw it, and we're about to find out if he's good at throwing it because it's 2nd and 24 for Arietta, who's looking to throw. He takes a little drag route. He gets a few yards, just about 7-8 yards, and it's going to be 3rd and long again.
And so this is where you teased me earlier about how I'm going to mention this is an extension of the run game, but that's exactly what it is. When you have this opportunity to take off a huge chunk of yardage, 2nd and 24, that's ridiculous, but 3rd and 16 is almost manageable. So being able to get that assured yardage, make 3rd and 16 something that's somewhat reasonable is definitely a good call there. Don't throw it up and potentially get an interception. That's a smart play.
So looks like we're going to see Coach Pauly here. He is going to be able to get the snap off, so he's going to have to snap it before the 2-minute warning. Arrieta out of the gun. The biggest play of the game for the Vikings to try to make a comeback here. Here's Arrieta back to throw, and he's looking. He's got nobody that I see, and he is sacked. The cornerbacks, the safeties, everybody was doing their job, and the defensive line iced the cake there and got a big hit on Arrieta.
Yeah, he just didn't have anybody open. I didn't notice anything that was really all that inspired route combination-wise. There was no aggression there. It was basically just straight lines. So if the guy is with you at the beginning, he's going to be with you at the end. So it was easy to take away. You have to understand this Packers defense, runs a lot of man coverage. So you have to have a couple of man beaters in just about every play, especially on 3rd and long.
Yeah, man, I agree 100%. I think he had 2 streak routes kind of in the same area of the field. Pauly just, as much as he prides himself in scheming, has not really coming out that hot there. So, and that punt was right around the 50-yard line. So the Packers have an opportunity to go up with another touchdown before this hits the 3rd quarter, where I believe the Packers get the ball. So here we go. Daniel Jones out of the gun. He's looking to throw. He's looking, and he throws a nice drag route there to Buckley, who puts a juke move on, and they get a few yards.
Yeah, and so that's another thing, too, where you have to make the opponent respect that, because you've been just tearing them up downfield and on the outside, so you got to make sure that they kind of cramp down a little bit as well so you can hit them over the top later. So
now Daniel Jones, at this point, you've got the lead. You're up 3 scores. Don't make a mistake and ride Todd Gurley, and you've got this game in the bag pretty much.
Yeah, I'd agree. Definitely look on this left side, either the corner or the post. Oh, he takes the short route. Now you've got to start being in a situation where you make sure you hit your points. A sack here kind of puts you behind. You do have 3 timeouts, but you're going to let a lot of this clock kind of naturally glide down, so I don't expect him to use all 3. So he's going to get into a point where he may want to keep up the pace.
I'm interested in looking at St. Brown there on the right-hand side. That corner is awfully far in on that right-hand side. Here we go, Jones out of the gun. I would lob that ball up just about. Either way, he got the first down on a corner route. Beautifully thrown ball by Daniel Jones again on a 3rd and 1.
Yep, and that was a good job of using the timeout. A lot of times people see that there's still 53 seconds. You don't want to leave a lot of time left for your opponent, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't need to settle for a field goal. That would have been another 13 seconds or so off, so it was a good job with that timeout there and taking advantage of the corner, like you said.
So here we go now. Jones out of the gun again, dropping back. He's looking. He throws a nice throw again by Daniel Jones. We've made a lot of noise about Todd Gurley, or at least I have. But Daniel Jones has continued to prove that he's an efficient passer this game. Lord Killer dicing up this defense.
I'm curious what he was looking for there. You can see that he was trying to read something. He had that seam up the middle of the field for a touchdown easy. So I don't know what development he was looking for there. He ended up taking the check down. It may have been the angle route that he was looking for. I didn't watch that side of the action. But he did have a touchdown if he wanted it.
Yeah, I think he was looking for that angle route. Looks like he's going to try getting up a first down here, which he does. And here comes a timeout probably. No, he's gonna. Okay, I respect that.
Yeah, he's only got one left, so.
Yeah, he's gonna keep that in his back pocket. You know, he's probably gonna take a shot here, I'd imagine. See what he can do. This clock's gonna tick down to about 29 seconds now. The Packers now gotta kind of pick up the pace here. Daniel Jones out of the shotgun. Todd Gurley next to him. Taking a while to get this ball snapped. Snap is to Jones. He's back to throw. He's looking, and he's sacked. That was a bad little fortune of events there for the Packers. Now they got to kick a field goal.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was talking about just a second ago. Like, I know I mentioned this 2 or 3 times already, but his clock management was something I was concerned about. He kept taking those short chunks over and over and over again, and you're like, dude, there's 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Like, that's all the time in the world, right? Not necessarily, right. Especially as the field starts to shrink. He ends up settling for a field goal because of it. Is it going to matter in the grand scheme of things? I'm not sure. This is about to be a 3-score game, but you definitely want to see better from a potential Super Bowl contender.
Right. Yeah, he especially that play right before he took a sack. 20 seconds went off the clock from when he was in the huddle till the snap of that ball, and then he took a sack. Nonetheless, Packers up 21 points, and they're getting the ball. and I'm guessing Todd Gurley's probably about to bust another big run here. But hey, you never know. This is the SML, and maybe Coach Pauly's got a second half adjustment up his sleeve.
When your offense is so heavily predicated on the success of the run game, do you say, well, I've got 2 superstar running backs, so I'm not worried about it? Or at what point do you decide to pull Todd Gurley?
Yeah, in this game, I would probably go this drive, try to get some more points, put it up by 4 scores, and then pull Todd Gurley. That's what I would do.
You know, I'm inclined to agree with you. I try to get it to 4 scores, and then I don't take him out of the depth chart, but I formation sub him in a couple of places. And that way, if I need to very quickly put him back in, I can do so pretty easily. But you still want to make sure, like you said, you get a good cushion first.
So Daniel Jones, he's going to go ahead and hand it off to Todd Gurley, who is a lightning in a bottle. You never quite know when he's going to score, and he gets a few yards there. But like you said, this offense is predicated on the run game. Obviously, Lindsey's a good running back, but we've seen some runs from Todd Gurley where you do have to play a little conservative after you've got the cushion in place, because an injury in a game where you're up 3 or 4 scores, you'd be kicking yourself if you got hurt in that situation.
Absolutely, especially so close to playoffs at this point for someone that has Super Bowl aspirations like he does.
And it's a handoff to Gurley again, who gets nearly got the first down there. 9 rushes. Am I reading that right? 182 yards by Todd Gurley here in Minnesota. The Vikings have a bloody nose, it looks like. They're just getting abused out here.
Hey, you missed the 3 touchdowns. That's almost as crazy as the other 2 stats. He's running through them.
Every 3 runs is a touchdown until this run. Unless he scores here, then I'll eat my words. So here we go. Daniel Jones under center. Looks like he's sending St. Brown in motion from right to left now. 3rd and 1 for the Green Bay Packers and Lawyer Killer, who's looking to wake up. Oh, it's Todd Gurley, and did I just eat my words? As he puts on a juke, and he gets caught from behind, but that's not after another run, putting him over 200 yards rushing. Todd Gurley, TG33, is abusing this Minnesota Vikings defense.
Hey, Lawyer needs to look in to see if there's any grounds for a suit due to jinxing. He probably would have scored that touchdown if you didn't say he wasn't going to. So
yeah, I'm kind of nervous here. We're gonna have to edit that part of this video because I don't need that on my life right now. So Todd Gurley, was that a sign of some age there, by the way, that he got caught from behind?
I mean, he's ran a lot already today. I think that may have been fatigue more than anything else.
So there we go. Jones, he's gonna throw a quick little stick route. It looked like. 6-yard gain. Daniel Jones, 8 of 9 for 85 yards. If you're Daniel Jones, though, I know we talked about the poor clock management earlier, but 8 of 9, 85 yards, no forced passes, really. That's what you need. If your run game's working for Lawyer Killer, that's all you need from your quarterback.
Absolutely. I mean, you get real good. What is, who was it? Was it Justin Fields or Tathan that said he hands the ball good as fuck or something like that?
Yeah.
That's all Daniel Jones needs to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's gonna. I thought he's gonna run, and now he's running into his lineman. And that Daniel Jones takes a shot right on that right hand shoulder. I know he's not an elite passer, but you still hate to see him get injured.
Yeah, you got to remember here, Lawyer, you don't have Cam Newton anymore. That he's not on the team, I don't believe. So you got to be careful. I know Daniel Jones does have a little bit of an ability to him to run the ball, but like you said, that right arm needs to be able to hand off the ball and hit those medium routes. So protect him. So
here we go. Now Lawyer's been pretty well balanced. 9 passes, 11 rushes. Looks like we got a backup running back in here, and that's Williams. It wasn't Lindsey. That was interesting. It must be his power back. Williams must be his power back. Mm-hmm. First down, Packers. And the Vikings have dude, this is bad. This is like they can't stop anything right now.
Yeah, that's kind of been the tale of the tape for the last 3 weeks, I think, in the league, where there have been games that just get away from people. I don't know if it's because of line play or what it is, but scores are getting out of hand, games are getting out of hand, and it's just been going extremely one-sided as of late.
And Philip Lindsay goes into the end zone, touchdown, Packers, and Lawyer Killer is Saxon on Coach Pauly here on Saturday Night Light SML football. He is up 31. I repeat, 31-3. It's a 28-point ball game halfway through the third quarter, and the only thing that has stopped the Packers is the clock.
Yeah, so basically, you're in a situation. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna scratch what I said. You're a guy that changed up your running game strategy. You run primarily inside zone. I believe, if I recall correctly, at the beginning of the cycle, everyone thought that halfback dive and halfback stretch were going to be the kind of ticket to running the ball well this cycle, and that's what Lawyer seems to be doing. What are your thoughts on inside zone versus that halfback dive, halfback stretch combination?
Yeah, I do. I do inside zone a lot of the time. Then I go to halfback dive. I've done inside zone and halfback dive because back in my old Madden past, I always just have a power back, and that's what worked. Uh, I'm not too educated on it, honestly. I can't give you a good analysis on the strengths and weaknesses of it. That's just what I've always called.
That's fair enough. There you saw he tried to utilize that human joystick that he got on Hines recently, but there's just too many guys swarming around you. It doesn't really matter how fast you're moving if you're running into someone's open arms. But trying to figure out what your scheme is when running the ball is about as important as is the guys that are actually running. Mm-hmm. That's why you see guys that can just take athletes and churn out yards, and you have other guys that have stud running backs that can't do anything. It's not just the running back, it's the scheme that makes it. So curious to see as that ball gets swatted away, if that's something that, Paulie may try to adjust on, or if it's something we see that's prevalent in different playoff teams where maybe they follow a certain regimen whereas other teams don't.
Right. So, yeah, you never quite know. A little tick here, a little tack there. Somebody's going to pick up on it, and it may win them a Super Bowl. So, anyway, another third down. I feel like that's been the story of the night for the Vikings, who throws a corner route. It's caught. He puts a juke move on. He gets the first down. Zach Arrieta, really no mistakes, but they're just mental mistakes, not any interceptions, no turnovers, but you're not doing anything to move the ball.
Yeah, and that's one where at a certain point, you kind of just play for respect and you kind of play for yourself. You're not necessarily playing to win the game or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So just trying to figure out what's going to work. Again, this is a division opponent. He'll see him twice next season. Just play for yourself at a certain point.
Right. This is a big game, pivotal game now as the Packers look to this is potentially for the playoffs here. Obviously, as he hands it off to Nyheim Hines, who breaks the tackle, and he gets the biggest run of his night, and that puts him in the positive yards. He's now 7 rushes for 1 yard.
And so that run right there is the tail of the tape in this game. You saw that a hole opened up. The Vikings offensive line opened up a hole, but there was a Packer right there ready for him. Now, the tackle got broken, but that slowed the running back enough to allow his help to come in and stop the running back. When you look at the Packers running the ball, there's a hole and there's no Vikings defender in the way. So he's able to get to the second level with no impediment whatsoever. So now he's going to try a jet sweep to see if that fixes thing. He's got jukebox, doesn't use it. That's one where he could have broken that off pretty well. I do want to see Paulie try to utilize some of those deals where, again, it's a pass, but it's actually a run. That's what he has to do right now. He has to switch it up and put himself at a different level because just straight running at him is not working.
Yeah, what that play was there, QB, if you didn't notice, that was actually a pass play, but it was just an extension of the run there, right? So, anyway. So Zach Arrieta back to throw. He's gonna just probably throw an interception or take a sack, and that's exactly what happens. That is Gary. I think that's Rashawn Gary. Yeah, from Michigan. That's a real player, actually.
Yeah, he's an athletic freak.
So he had a drag route, he had a hook route, he had about 3 guys open, but he decided taking the sack was the best route to go there. So Zach Arrieta out of the gun, 2nd and 17.
My favorite formation.
Yes, coach. Yes, QB Stud's favorite formation. Oh man, he's pressing here. He's looking to throw, and he throws that corner route, and that was a good defensive effort there. Pressure was bearing down. I thought he might actually get it, but cornerback said no.
I, for one, am just shocked that he was trying to go for a corner out of that formation. I mean, there's no way you could have known that.
I was expecting like a post at it. So 3rd and 17. What's going to happen here? QB, what's your prediction?
Incomplete pass.
I'm going to guess interception. Here we go. Arrieta. Oh, he caught it. First down, I think.
That was.
He did it. He did it. So yes. There you go.
I know
quick
I was
hitter.
getting a little wordy earlier with my analysis. I'm trying to create content here. Want to keep people excited about the game that we're in. Maybe educate some people that are in here that don't have as much experience as you or myself. Sometimes you have to figure out how to create when there's not much in front of you.
Right. Absolutely. So that was the end of the third quarter. This is going to be the end of the third quarter. Is this what you expected, though, in all seriousness, 31-3?
No, for a couple of reasons. One, both of these guys have great defenses. You've seen the Packers' defense come in full force. But another is, honestly, the Packers' offense hasn't been overly impressive outside of Todd Gurley, and the Vikings' run D is their strength.
And here we go as Naheem Hines gets another stuff to run. Yeah, speaking of coming at full force, the Vikings have not. They're having performance anxiety, and 3 points is all they mustered so far. And Coach Pauly, man, we've talked about this guy. This is his first game under the lights in the SML, and he fell flat on his face. What do you do if you come out under the lights, commentated game, and you come out and you embarrass yourself? How do you rebound from something like that?
Me personally, I don't talk a lot of trash, so I don't really care. I'm sure I have done it at one point or another. So it doesn't really bother me as he gets this bubble screen going on. Pretty good play. Again, that's that extension of the run game. He's got third and short now. That's definitely manageable. But you just have to have a short-term memory. Like, you got to delete it. It's got to be gone. It doesn't affect the next game. Don't let it affect the next game. Only you can get in the way next time.
Yes. So, season's not over for the Vikings. It's just a little more difficult now for Coach Pauly, who is just playing for pride. You got to respect the guy. He's going down swinging like Rocky Balboa, he's not giving up.
Yeah, and then honestly, me personally, at this point, I stopped playing for pride and I just run the clock out over and over and over again. I don't really care about stats. It's just get me out of this game, please. Whether you think as he gets a fullback dive, I don't think he got it. That's 4th and inches right there.
Oh, first down, they
He
said.
did get it.
I thought he was stuffed as well, but the refs felt bad for him.
Yes. So he did get one break. That's good. It's not everything. It's not the world against him. So he can kind of hold his head high there. But at the same time, you just take your lumps and you move forward and you don't really care. Like, people are going to say stuff in chat, but it doesn't matter.
The rumor has it the commissioner called into the refs. They said, hey, man, give it to this kid. It's like Make-A-Wish, man. We just got to help this guy out because ratings are tanking right now in Minnesota. Hey, who's all watching this game, man? Give us a shout out in the comments if you're watching. What did you expect out of this game? Did you foresee Laura Killer completely murking Pauly? Because I didn't.
I have seen a lot of people talk about how either A, it looks like I'm looking down on everyone, or B, apparently I look blue/purple. I haven't really seen a consensus on that. And that's just me trying to come out and support the Vikings since they're the home team. Didn't work out that great for them, but, trying to have that SML pride, that's all.
And I see Skyrider in chat says, Prime smells like cheese. I knew Conk was going to be in chat despite saying he wasn't going to be. One of our loyalists there is Conclusions TTV, another guy who craps all over himself in big games.
No comment.
So anyway, just kidding, Conk. Not really. So here we go, 3rd and 8, another third down and pretty long here for the Vikings and Arrieta, who is just going to try getting a completion here. Arrieta back to throw. Oh, jeez. That was incomplete.
Yeah, so as we come down, would you go for it here or kick field goal? Do you get the points or do you try to...
Might as well. 10 points on the board makes it look a little bit closer, so might as well go for the 10 points and get a touchdown.
If I've gotten trashed all game, I just go ahead and kick field goal.
Yeah.
I'm just get me out, to be honest.
Well, it's 28 points. If Pauly gets a touchdown, gets an onside, gets a touchdown, gets an onside, and gets a touchdown, I think that's just about close enough to where you can come back.
I've seen an onside kick recovered once this entire cycle, and it was against me the next day after I said it wasn't going to happen on stream. Yeah. As he actually gets the first down here. Now he's got 1st and goal, the 3rd. The problem is that you're still not guaranteed to get the touchdown here. He still may have to settle for a field goal. I guess it does run the clock a little bit, but, it is what it is.
Hey, yeah, he did get a first down on basically the same throw. Hey, Kong says, Prime, killer on the call. Is that a compliment?
No, sure. I think he's... so you know how he dubbed himself the QB killer?
Oh, the prime killer on the call. Whenever I see Conk message something, it's just hard for me to read for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, see, then he comes and talks about himself right afterward. He tried to come out and mention something about someone else, and then so that triggered himself, and he has like, oh no, I have to talk about me now. So it's okay. But yeah, if you guys want to pop something into chat and have us answer it, you've got us for another 4 minutes or so. So feel free, and we can answer any questions.
We're lacking content. Hey, touchdown, Vikings, skull, Naheem the Dream Hind. That's a touchdown, Coach Polly. And the Minnesota Vikings are now down only 21 points here in the fourth quarter.
Do you onside kick here then?
Yeah, might as well.
You're killing me. Just kick the ball deep. It doesn't matter.
He's gonna kick it deep. I don't know. Why not? Why not onside it? Just have a little fun out there.
Because then you only have 40 yards to stop him until he scores another touchdown. Whereas this way, you probably stop him. Like, the game's over now if the Packers don't break off a big run. He can easily run out 3 minutes and 20 seconds with this amount of field.
The way I see it, Todd Gurley's either going to get a 40-yard touchdown or a 70-yard touchdown.
That's fair enough.
It's been that one of those nights for. Hey, let's see if he pulls Todd Gurley. By the way.
That's a good point. I 100% would. I'd run Lindsey, but I'd pull Gurley.
So it looks like Lindsey is in the game. Yeah, might as well just see what Lindsey's got. A little tryout for. Oh man, if he doesn't trip, I don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, that could have been nasty, but a 6-yard gain is good. He within the next 2 runs, he'll probably end up getting another first down. This it's done. Put a fork in it.
Stick a fork in him. And Kong says, "Hey, SML League, is QB killer real or no? I need to know if I should stop the nickname 8 and 3. No, I don't think that's a thing, really.
I think it's cute when people try to incorporate records from Primer. Also, there were meaningless games played, but that's okay. As he gets stuffed behind the line on that run.
Yeah, I'm not a whole big fan of the killer mantra. I'm probably I've probably beaten Grams or Future Empire a majority of the games we play, and every time we play, my butt's full on pucker against those guys. So, anyway, here we go. Looks like we got a backup quarterback. No, that's Daniel Jones still in the game here. Looks like he's going to try passing, get the first down, and knee this thing out. So, would you pass it here to try to get the first and just knee it out, or no?
On 3rd and 5th, 21 points, yeah. If it was like 30-something points, I'd just run it and give him the ball back.
And Daniel Jones gets sacked. No entry, though. And that's going to be a punt situation.
Yeah, and for those of you at home, he thought that was a backup quarterback because he didn't see an X underneath the quarterback. Prime isn't used to that, so he was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not used to that no X Factor quarterback. Although I did get a notification in Madden, a media question, and it said one of your franchise players looks like he's retiring at the end of the season. So I'm kind of nervous about that because I only have like one franchise player above 32 years old.
Yeah, so everybody be on the lookout for new rules for the final season, something like abilities being turned off now that Prime doesn't have him for his quarterback. Be on the lookout. Something's going to change up just for the last season.
Just for the last season, and it's going to be superstar trades, including quarterbacks. That's going to be the new rule.
95 plus A-OK.
A-OK for 4th-round draft picks. And here we go. Arietta's coming out throwing Zach Arrieta. Hold up, boys. Vikings got 3 timeouts. They got Zach Arrieta, and they got 1:40, and they're only down 3 scores. It's not over. Hold your popcorn, fellas. Zach Arrieta out of the gun now. Naheem Hines next to him. He hits a snap. It's a good snap, and he caught it. He's looking. It's a drag route. He breaks the tackle, and he does all that and gets 4 yards.
Yeah, and so you have to be okay with someone passing on 3rd down there because if you expect that guy – I'm talking about a lawyer. If you expect the guy that's up to run the ball on 3rd and medium, then when you get the ball back, you should also run to finish the game. I'm not saying people have to just straight up give up, but if you expect one person to clock, the other person also needs to clock.
Yeah. So here we go now. Looks like someone went in motion, probably a scrub.
Oh, Arrieta, he messed up his camera.
Arrieta out of the gun. He takes a good snap again. He's looking. Just force it up, Paulie. It's a corner route. Oh, geez. That was a big hit.
He had the other corner, too.
Man. Hey, one thing I can say is Arrieta hasn't completed many passes, good passes anyway, but he has caught every snap from center.
Back when I was a quarterback, my coach always said that the quarterback needs to have the best hands on the team, and that's a big reason why. So Zach Arrieta, best wide receiver on the Vikings, confirmed.
Definitely. Oh, and he definitely. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Is he gonna go for it, or is he gonna punt it?
You got to punt it here.
He's gonna go for it. Why not?
The game's over. I don't know. I understand why you do go for it here. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Oh, I play to win. You can't win though. But whatever. Whatever makes you feel better. Whatever lets you tuck in yourself at night.
The word impossible itself spells out I'm possible. And that's what Coach Pauly is doing here, down by 3 scores in 40 seconds. Arrieta under center. He's making some checks. Maybe they're going to make a difference. Maybe not. He drops back to throw. He's looking. He throws a drag route, and all those checks, and he got short of the first down. And the Green Bay Packers go into Minnesota and completely lay the wood on the Vikings.
Yeah. We have another question. Are the Bills playoff bound? So I'll let you field that question. Why not?
Oh, wait, because there can only be 2 AFC East teams, right? Because it's going to be me or Dump at 5, probably. And then it'll be you or Royce or Conk. I'm going to guess Royce and you are going to make it. Conk's going to be left out. He's going to be at home crying.
Yes. Yeah, so I think the Bills have the Jaguars left on their schedule. I think that's their only really tough game, if I recall correctly.
But he's behind, right? He's behind the 8 ball already, or in terms of standings.
He's 1 game back, but he has tiebreaker.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
He's beat you twice?
No, they split, but the Bills have the better division record.
Who do you play?
Who do I play? I play the Buccaneers, the Panthers, and the Dolphins.
Beat the Bucks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So all those trash talks about Mike FML, man, Mike's gunning for you. Anyway,
nothing would give Mike more joy than to squash me, especially if it affects my playoff seeding.
Yes, Mike is plotting already, I'm sure of it. But guys, thanks Conk for your questions. Thanks everybody for listening. That was SML Saturday Night Light QB Stud. I'll let you sign us off.
One more thing real quick. Lawyer did request a post-game interview before the game started.
Let me hit him up.
So you hit him up, and I will entertain our loving and adoring fans. But yeah, so this was a game. It's kind of toward the end of the season. Things that are going to happen.
Interview, guys.
What's that?
I told him to stay tuned for that interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So things that are going to happen are going to happen. You get to a certain point to where, what do you do when you're in this situation? How do you, carry yourself when you're faced up against the division deciding game, really? Lawyer's been there before. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's had plenty of experience in big games. Pauly has experience in big games, if I recall correctly, before his time in the SML. But big games take on a whole nother meaning at this level of play. The SML isn't, your run-of-the-mill league. It's not even just another good league. It's definitely miles and miles ahead of just about every other league I've seen in terms of gameplay, in terms of user skill. So a big game here means a lot more than a big game that you may have been used to before coming in. I think he's one, like you said, that does make adjustments. I'm sure he'll make adjustments and be able to kind of grow under this situation. I know you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I'd expect him to be able to bounce back and be better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Pauly, you got to keep that chin up, keep the head up, and keep slinging, man. It's hard to beat somebody who doesn't give up. So, Coach Pauly will definitely go back to the drawing board. He had some weapons out. I think a receiver, Diggs, was out, stuff like that. Might make a difference when you're passing the ball. Kind of having some trouble linking up with Lawyer Killer here, so I'm not sure what the prospects of our interview are.
All right, he's got 30 seconds.
Yeah, so we'll give him 30 seconds or so, and if not, we'll sign him off. But like you said, man, them lights get bright. You know, when you get the whole SML tuning in, got some guys commentating, and hey, you know, it's a learning step. It's a learning curve for everybody.
Yep. And you know, I talked about Pauly there because I expected to talk about Lawyer in an interview, but if he's ducking, that's fine. Lawyer looking great. I don't know that he's officially gotten that division locked up, but he's got the division locked up. So it comes down to seeding to a certain point. I'm not sure exactly what the seeding looks like. I can actually look that up.
I know they play each other again in like 2 or 3 advances.
Oh, really? That's a big deal. So right now he's sitting at 9-4. I believe that puts him at the 3 seed. Or I guess he's what, 10-4 now, or is he 9-4 now? I think he's 10-4 now. How many games do we have left? 2, 3. We have 3 left. Yeah, so he's 9-4 now, sitting in at the 3 seed, overtaking NYT and the Falcons. And he's got Future and the Seahawks right now above him at 9-3, who has to play a division opponent. So your Future tripping up away from potentially fighting for a playoff bye, and that's a big deal.
And just to note, Future is down by 4 against the 49ers as we speak.
Yeah, so that's one where this game may not have been that great to, an outside perspective, but being able to establish yourself against a division opponent this late in the season and potentially fight for that division. I see I'm boring Prime. Being able to
no, it's not that.
Being able to fight for he established himself this point in the season for a perennial playoff contender. That's where you want to be.
Absolutely, 100%. You never know what's going to happen, guys. We still got a few weeks to go, and it's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. It's the SML, and you never know what's going to happen. So keep chipping at that mountain. And Lawyer Killer has not gotten back to me, by the way, so I think we're gonna have to say no interview.
Yeah, that was more than enough time. So, yeah, this is QB Stud signing us off. We will see you guys next week.
See you guys.